Hello everybody, we're back in the studio because what happened? Dusk Division finally finished their draft, so it's time for me to bring you my winners and losers for the Dusk Division draft of Season 3 of the OHKO Draft League. Let's get right into it. For my first set of winners, it's the expensive Pokemon. Every Pokemon in the first three tiers, 20 points, 19 points, and 18 points was taken except for Talonflame and Mega Gengar. Mega Gengar is crazy to me because of all the crap that we gave Frostlass. Gengar is arguably a better Mega because it can trap Pokemon in, it has a higher attack stat, all those things, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We expanded out to 17 points, only Mega Kangaskhan and Mega Lucario weren't taken, meaning everybody in those 4-point tiers, minus 4 Pokemon were taken. That's pretty insane to have every single one of those Pokemon taken pretty much, and that just shows that everybody was valuing that power level that was in those first couple of tiers. But then we get to our first set of losers. I'm sure everybody was expecting this. It's alarm clocks, watches, anything that sets time on it. It's the Dusk Division managers. Dawn had close to 7 rounds completed before Dusk even had 2. I mean, there was a huge difference in between the responsiveness time between the Dawn and Dusk Division before the first couple of picks were even done, meaning like the first 3 in Dusk, there were multiple rounds finished inside of Dawn. There were also multiple times picks had to be skipped due to people not responding. This was multiple different people, so I'm not even trying to single out one person, but it seemed like these communication issues got fixed towards kind of the middle and end of the draft, so hopefully that's all cleared up now. We can go into the season, fresh slate, no more draft kind of disgust on that one side. So let's get into the season and make sure that we have good responsiveness from both divisions. Dawn can't start slacking now. But hopefully now that that's resolved, we'll have a nice clean season, people will schedule on time, we'll have any late games, and it will be a great one. So let's move back into the winners on something that's less kind of mean than that. We get to the winners, and I'm going to single somebody out. It's Party Arlie's point bank account. Arlie had 19 points going into her final pick. She had 47 points remaining going into her final 3 picks, meaning she was being very thrifty with her point. Like, she was being very thrifty with her picks, and that's something that we can all, like, take kind of a note from because everybody seems to be picking those value picks late in the draft. Arlie was picking value picks towards the middle and even towards the start of the draft, meaning she was able to get some higher hitters kind of towards the end of the draft when she had a more kind of defined team. And I think that's actually a really good strategy, especially if you don't get your picks sniped. You kind of have targets that not everybody wants in kind of those higher point tiers, because then you can snipe those kind of support Pokemon that aren't so desired in those early rounds, but you can get all the ones that you want and then start picking what your sweepers could be based around what you get in those supports, instead of trying to get your sweepers, get your super hard hitters, your really high pointers, and then kind of having to, oh, there's not any of this left, there's not any Rage Rectors left. You get all those early so that you can kind of build your team around those. I think that's a really great draft strategy. She had 5 Pokemon drafted that were 5 or fewer points, which is crazy, and hopefully she gets good value out of those, because I know a lot of the Pokemon down in the 5 to kind of 1 point tier are a lot of undervalued ones in there. So I'm sure she has her eyes on something. I know that it's going to be good. She had a clear plan to draft those diamonds in the rough, so I can't complain about it. I think that's a great draft strategy. Excited to see what she can do with all of them. As we go back to our winner's side, we have OHKO. OHKO was drafted in the first round, and at that, 6th overall. OHKO is piloted by one of, if not the best OHKO trainer in the world in Kaguya Falls. He was able to bring OHKO into the champions tier, meaning the top 300 players on Pokemon Champions, not just in one specific region, in all the Pokemon Champions. He was able to get a OHKO up to that. I mean, if you can do that with OHKO, I do not blame you for drafting in the first round. We covered it a little bit in the Dawn draft analysis. If you haven't watched that, go check it out on Split Seconds channel. OHKO's great. A knockoff, parting shot. It's basically an Incineroar without the Intimidate. Very good, very kind of maybe undervalued. I mean, it was only, what, 7 points, something like that. Pretty undervalued Pokemon. I can't knock him for drafting it. It seems like great Pokemon all around. It was a steal to get in the Dawn division that low, so being able to pick it in the first round is kind of crazy. Not knocking the strategy at all, but just kind of one of the more surprising picks of the draft. Great pick. And extra bonus points, mascot pick. there are not a ton of mascot picks. Sorry to my Scrafty and the Scottsdale Scrafty's coach. Can't say that I drafted Scrafty. I was thinking about it, but didn't pull the trigger. Sadly on that one. But great pick for your mascot. Drafting your mascot first round, always a great thing to do. Never complaining about that. So great pick to Kaguya. Hopefully your Morpeko shows up and shows why it deserved to be picked in the first round. Moving on to your next set of losers, it's the Kanto Megas that aren't Charizard. Venusaur, Blastoise, Mega Aerodactyl, and Mega Kangaskhan all didn't get drafted. And especially for Mega Blastoise, Mega Venusaur, those are on some of the more popular teams on the ladder. So I'm very surprised that they didn't at least go towards the later rounds when there were some of the Megas still being picked off of the board. I mean, those just can offer so much value with Mega Blastoise's ability, letting it use Dark Pulse. I think Aurasphere also gets that boost from the Mega Launcher. Just some insane value still left on the board there. I mean, I know Mega Sloths are at a premium in this league, especially being only able to get 2, but not drafting some of the bulkiest Pokemon. Mega Kang didn't go drafted in both leagues. Just very, very crazy that none of them got drafted. Then Mega Gengar. I said we would get back to this. The only 20-point Pokemon that wasn't drafted. Mega Gengar is one of the best Megas, I feel like, especially in Draft League, where you can be so versatile with it. It gets Perish Song, as everybody knows. It traps Pokemon in. That just is such great utility. And for it to go undrafted completely just blows my mind. Frostlass, at least it's a new Mega, so some people might not exactly know what it does, but Mega Gengar has been around since Gen 6. This is one of the Pokemon that I am so surprised didn't get drafted whatsoever. I'm not even sure if it got a look by anybody, but it just blows my mind that a 20-point Mega Gengar, which I believe is fully worth that 20 points, didn't go drafted at all. And for our last segment of winners, we've got the unique Pokemon. I mentioned Morpeko back in the previous winner segment, but we also got some other great Pokemon drafted, like Quaquaval, Normal Chimecho, Garbodor, and Meganium. These are all some very unique Pokemon that you don't see normally. I should also mention that that Meganium is not Mega Meganium, it is a standard Meganium. So very interesting to see all of these super unique Pokemon, none of them really in the current meta whatsoever. So I'm very interested to see how they play and how they match up into certain opponents. I know a lot of these are kind of some sleeper ones that, like, they're overshadowed by what would normally be in the meta, but in these draft leagues that they're going to be some really sleeper picks that hit a lot harder than you think that they would. I mean, Quaquaval, I've tried to use it back in Reg H. I'm not the greatest with Quaquaval, I'll admit it, but I know there was somebody who at least got very high in day 2 at some regional. Can't remember off the top of my head, but Quaquaval is a really good Pokemon with Moxie and its move Aqua Step, which boosts its speed. So if you can get that thing steamrolling, that thing is going to be very scary. A lot of them are some budget picks. Not all of them were budget picks. Some of them were a little bit higher. I know Quaquaval is around 8 to 9 points. So that's not exactly what you would call a budget pick, but something that you wouldn't really see on a team normally. You won't really be, I mean, you'll obviously be seeing some of these meta compositions, your Tyrannitars, Excadrills, Charizard, Venusaurs, that sort of thing, but that's not going to be every single team in this season, which I think is going to be really interesting to see. Unless you're Aldrich, who has 3 20-point Pokemon in Garchomp, Whimsicott, and your tactical nuke of Mega Floette, that's just going to be a meta team the entire season. So good job, Aldrich. I'm very interested to see how the Dusk division goes. I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup-oriented one. And Aldrich, your team is great. I just tried to mess with you with the 20 pointers. Anyway, let's get into our last set of losers. The last loser is that the fun is over. The entire fun of Draft League is the draft. Now we have to go play stupid Pokemon. All jokes aside, draft was very fun. Obviously, it can have some kind of hitches as the start of this draft went, but otherwise, I think the draft is the really fun part. But now we actually get into the meat of the season. All of the games, regular season, regular season, if people don't know, is 9 games. Playoffs is the top 4 of each division, so it'll go top 8, top 4, and then your finals. Games are best of 3, finals, everything, also best of 3. There also cannot be a repeat winner this season. Both of the winners from Season 1 and Season 2 are not playing. Split Second, who has been the other host on some of these videos, made the finals last year, but did not win, obviously. So there will not be a repeat winner this year. We'll have 3 seasons of OHKO draft and 3 different winners, which is very cool. And Monday is when the new season begins. So I'll see you all there. And that's the end. If you guys like this video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. There will be lots more Draft League content, lots more normal Pokemon content. We're going to have videos every single week, multiple videos every single week. And as always, stay battling.